Nothing is wrong right now. No deadline, no conflict, no emergency. The house is quiet. Nobody needs anything from you. And yet, you can't relax. Some part of you is scanning, waiting, bracing for whatever's about to go wrong next. You sit down to rest, and within minutes, your mind starts hunting for a problem to solve, a task you forgot, a text you should probably answer. If peace makes you more anxious than chaos does, there's a very specific reason for that. And it's not about what's happening right now. It's about what your body learned a long time ago. Let's call him Marcus. He's 34. It's a Sunday afternoon, and for once, everything is actually fine. Work is under control. His apartment is clean. He has literally nothing he needs to do for the next 4 hours. He sits down on the couch to watch something. 10 minutes in, his leg starts bouncing. He picks up his phone. Not because anything's wrong, just to check. Nothing new. He puts it down, picks it back up 2 minutes later. He gets up to make coffee he doesn't really want, just to have something to do with his hands. He starts thinking about an email he sent 3 days ago that hasn't gotten a reply yet. Was it too blunt? Should he follow up? He wasn't thinking about it an hour ago. Now it feels urgent. By the time the show ends, Marcus realizes he hasn't actually relaxed once. His body was on the couch. His mind was somewhere else entirely, running small emergencies that don't exist, just to have something to hold on to. If you've ever felt more comfortable in crisis mode than in an ordinary quiet afternoon, more at ease with a full calendar than an empty one, you're not broken, and you're definitely not lazy or ungrateful for the calm. Your nervous system just never learned that calm was safe to trust. Here's what's actually happening. For a lot of people, growing up meant that stability wasn't a given. Maybe there was unpredictability at home, a parent's mood that could shift without warning, financial stress that showed up suddenly, conflict that could erupt out of nowhere on what looked like an ordinary day. In an environment like that, staying alert wasn't a personality trait, it was a survival skill. Constantly scanning for the next problem, the next shift in tone, the next thing about to go wrong, that vigilance kept you prepared. It gave you a few extra seconds to brace yourself before things got worse. The problem is that alert system doesn't automatically switch off once the unpredictable environment is gone. Your nervous system doesn't check your current zip code, your current relationships, or your current bank account before deciding whether to relax. It runs on old data. And if that old data says calm moments are usually followed by something bad, then calm itself starts to feel less like safety and more like a countdown. This is why quiet, uneventful time can trigger something that almost feels like dread. Not because anything is actually wrong, but because your body has learned deep in its wiring that quiet is often just the pause right before the next disruption. But here's the layer most people don't expect. For many people who can't relax, busyness isn't just a distraction, it's a coping mechanism that actually works in the short term, because a full schedule gives the hyper-alert part of your brain something legitimate to focus on. If you're managing 5 tasks, you're not sitting in that raw, unstructured stillness where the old alarm system has nothing to do except go looking for danger. In other words, staying busy isn't just avoidance, it's a way of giving your anxiety a job. A task list feels more manageable than an empty afternoon because at least a task list has an endpoint, a sense of control, a reason for the tension to exist. This is also why some people describe feeling almost more like themselves during a crisis than during ordinary life. In crisis, the vigilance finally makes sense. It has a target. It's doing its job. But in an ordinary, peaceful moment, that same vigilance has nowhere to go, so it starts manufacturing problems just to have something to respond to. And underneath all of it is often a quieter belief that relaxing means dropping your guard, that the moment you finally let yourself rest completely is exactly the moment something will slip through. A mistake will happen, someone will need you and you won't be ready, or the good thing you have will somehow be taken while you weren't watching. This shows up in different forms. There's the person who takes on extra work not because they need the money, but because an empty calendar makes them uncomfortable in a way they can't quite explain. There's the person who, on vacation, somewhere beautiful with nothing required of them, spends the first 2 or 3 days unable to stop checking email, not because anyone's expecting a response, but because stillness feels unfamiliar enough to be unsettling. There's the person who feels a strange pang of unease during a genuinely good week and finds themselves thinking, almost involuntarily, this is too good, something's going to go wrong soon. Not because there's any actual sign of trouble, but because good, uneventful stretches don't match their internal expectations of how life usually goes. In every case, the surface story looks like overworking, restlessness, or mild anxiety. Underneath, it's the same mechanism, an old alert system, still scanning for a threat that isn't there anymore because it was never properly told the danger had passed. Here's the twist most people never consider. The instinct is usually to try to force relaxation, take the vacation, sit on the couch, tell yourself to just calm down. But forcing stillness onto a nervous system that equates stillness with danger almost never works. It just creates a new kind of tension, the tension of trying to relax, which is its own exhausting task. The real shift isn't about forcing calm. It's about slowly teaching your body, through repeated small evidence, that safety doesn't have to be followed by disaster. That's not something you can think your way into. It has to be felt gradually in small enough doses that your nervous system doesn't panic and pull you right back into vigilance. This means the goal isn't a 2-week vacation where you're suddenly completely at peace. It's 5 quiet minutes where nothing goes wrong, then 5 more. Each small stretch of undisturbed calm is a tiny piece of new evidence, slowly updating an old, outdated file that says quiet isn't safe. The question that actually helps isn't, why can't I just relax? It's, what is this restlessness trying to protect me from? And is that danger actually here right now? Most of the time, when you actually ask that question honestly, the answer is no. The danger it's bracing for already happened, a long time ago, somewhere else, to a version of you who needed that vigilance to get through it. So the next time you're sitting in a perfectly calm moment and you feel that familiar restlessness creeping in, the urge to check your phone, invent a task, brace for something, try not to fight it and try not to obey it either. Just notice it. Let it be there without letting it run the moment. You don't have to prove to yourself that you can relax completely all at once. You just have to let this one quiet minute be a little bit safer than the ones that came before it. Your body kept you alert for a reason once. It hasn't gotten the message yet that it's allowed to put that job down, even just for a little while. Peace isn't something you have to earn back. It's something you get to slowly, patiently let yourself believe again.